Okay, so today and for the first time, I have Joseph Casanova with me. He is the founder of Furlough, which is a collaborative marketing community of entrepreneurs, brands, and students all working together to experience growth through collaboration. Thanks for saying yes to the podcast, Joseph.
Of course, very glad to be here. I respect a young, go ambitious hustler when I see one. So,
That's great. So, how long have you been at Furlough? Since how many weeks or months or years?
oh, I'm gonna change my background a little bit just to,
Right. Yeah.
that's actually a business I do consulting for. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing furlough for about 2016 actually, and it started off. I worked a lot with influencers previously, and I just wanted to work with these influencers behind a brand instead of being Joe Casanova. And then I started doing the influencer trips and started doing content creation trips, start taking them, getting brands to sponsor trips and paying them to basically create content for them. And then next thing you know, the pandemic happened. So I had to switch up the whole entire model. So I ended up here with this wonderful community.
That sounds interesting. So, with nearly 5 years at Furlough, what is the one achievement that you're most proud of?
Oh, restarting, I think, was the big one when we had to hit the reset button, and then we came back to actually building this community. I remember when I first came across Discord, which is where the community takes place. The Discord server, someone, it was just 18-year-old kid comes to me. He's like, "Man, you should be on Discord," because before we were on WhatsApp and we were doing group chats and we were doing Facebook messengers and Facebook groups, and we were all over the place. And this kid's like, "You should go to Discord." I'm like, "Go set it up." So he set it up, and then next thing you know, I fall in love with the platform. I feel like it's Slack and Zoom meets together, but ours is like sprinkled with a little bit of LinkedIn. And I remember every day I would wake up and I'd go through every one of the channels and respond to every single one of the channels. My biggest moment, like I guess like an aha moment, was I remember when I went through every single one of the channels and I didn't have to respond to a single message because someone else responded to the message. And then I realized, wow, this actually just hit. This was the day that it hit a critical mass. And then I didn't need my audience turned into a community. So
That's such an awesome story. So it must be a great feeling to see your audience turn into a community and interacting with each other. But if
absolutely.
you could change one thing in this fulfilling journey, what would that be?
Change one thing. Uh, I wouldn't be doing it. I probably wouldn't be doing it as a poor, honestly, because I lost all my money during this pandemic. The furlough really did. I opened up my second hotel in the Mayan Riviera, and opening up a hotel right before a global tourism pandemic wasn't a smart move. So, doing all this bootstrap was really challenging, and now we started picking up agency clients just to service them so that we could reinvest all that money back into the community. So things have gotten a lot easier having a team that you can pay. People are by far the hardest thing in order to make an organization successful. So now that I have good people that I'm actually able to compensate for showing up and working and putting in those hours, makes things a lot easier. So I would probably change that.
Got it. All right. The furlough community seems to be exploding as we speak, and we know for a fact that it always hasn't been like this. Would you please highlight how you managed to build this community of over 2,000 people from a marketing aspect?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's definitely growing. It's exponential growth. I could see it by the stats. I'm a data-driven guy, so I look at the data. Honestly, it starts with I call it the three E's. It's educating, entertaining, and engaging. And if you figure out content, especially, this is here is content. You communicating, me communicating, us speaking. And I spent a lot of time in those voice channels talking to not recorded content, but audio content to, the people in this community. And I think like the biggest thing that we did was just like give, you just give without strings attached. And even to this day, people are like, "Hey, are you going to drop a clothing line?" And let's be clear, I can't see it with my green screen. I have like so much Furlough apparel. You can see, oh, I was
Yep,
there you
I do. I
go.
do.
Yeah. And I don't want to put it out there for people to buy it, to sell it to them, because then I'm monetizing the community, and I'm not really interested in monetizing the community, even though I keep being asked, like, what, are you going to sell a course? And it's like, no, I'm just giving away all the education for free. Are you going to sell clothes? I'm like, nah, if they want it, they can just, I'll give them the logo and they can go make their own. But it's that right there. I would say it's just kind of keep building and kind of keep giving. There's a lot of things we have in store for the future, but right now I don't want to do anything that'll jeopardize this kind of like nice explosive growth that we're getting.
Got it. Do you mind expanding on the future plans for this community as you're not
Oh
monetizing
man.
it right now?
Yeah, I mean, so right now, I think the education system is long overdue for disruption. And you know, if you're gonna go be a doctor, yes, I understand, go to school. But if you're gonna be a marketer, that's not really the place. You go to school for 4 years, pay a ton of money for school, a degree to go and start at the bottom of the totem pole and get an internship at a said company, right? How are you supposed to get experience when you need experience to get experience? So what we've done is kind of created this model where we have a layer of education, but most importantly, you're getting real world skills working on real world brands. So through Discord and the features that are available through collaboration, people actually get to work on real world projects. I have someone that a year ago didn't even know what email marketing was, and when she came into the community, she started just doing everything. And I'm like, you're gonna get burnt out. She eventually dropped the things that she didn't like, focused on the things that she did like, which turned out to be email marketing. And now we're in this, as the recording is, we're on November 2nd. It's the second day of November. And she's working on Black Friday, Cyber Monday for a company that's going to drive over $800 to $1 million in sales. And it's like, how would you get that experience? And she's never done Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but you know, myself, my partner Ophir, and other couple of the people I brought through my network into Discord that were never on Discord. They are not social media users. You know, we have the experience. If you don't need experience, we have experience. You just need the ambition to be able to do things, and with the tools of the internet, kind of figure things out. So really disrupting that education system with a, you know, gamified platform, which we're already speaking to a lot of learning management softwares, also known as LMSs, to find the real, you know, the great platform, which I think we did find one. We locked one in to really gamify education. From there, I do have, you know, goals and ambitions to go into the blockchain space. That is a little further down, but the thing is, our community is already transacting amongst each other. And what if we simply dropped an NFT or dropped a currency within the community? People are already transacting, so the use case is there. I'd rather not do it during a bull run, and then when the bull run, you know, it's over, then this whole entire community is like, oh, or they get burned or something like that. So not really doing that right now either. I'd rather launch that during a bear market when everything is going down, but we're actually building real use case.
All right. Um, so you have met personalities like Gary Vee, Ryan Serhant, Richard Branson. I saw that on LinkedIn. If you want to give a fraction of those learnings from those interactions to the viewers, what would that be?
I mean, they're all great people. Ryan Serhant, I liked him a lot. I gotta say, Gary Vee by far is the truth. That was a very surprising interaction because I only saw what was on social media. So I just see this guy kind of being all motivational, being all this. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. I had like about 15 to 20 minutes with him. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna break him. I'm gonna figure out, like, I'm gonna see what he doesn't know. And I started trying to go deep and like poke at him, and I was blown away. After that, he got a fan because I was, you know, I always thought he was all talk. I'm like, guys, motivational guy. And I was blown away at how much he really did know and what he accomplished, like what he plans on doing. And I mean, he's been a man of his word ever since. So it's the consistency, and it's on top of it, it's just the consistency of his brand, and how who he is online is exactly who he is on person. And he's not fake for anyone. So that's my biggest takeaway. I wish I could say Richard gave me a crazy lessons and stuff, but we were just hanging out. It was a fun time we were doing a restoration for the British Virgin Islands at the time. There was a hurricane that hit it, and you know, we were just hanging out. It was like a vacation more. It wasn't like business. Gary Vee, we were hanging out during the time of his event, which was Agent 2021, where it was basically a seminar with a bunch of professionals talking, and I managed to get him in the midst of it. So right after his keynote too. That was incredible. So that one was a little bit different of an experience.
I see. I wish I could do that, and I hope I'm able to do that in the future.
I have
Talking to
no doubt in
individuals
my
like
mind
this.
you can. Really.
Let's see. So if we take a step back and look at things from a macro perspective, let's just talk about metaverse. In my
Sure.
opinion, the masses are as confused about the metaverse as they were about internet 20 years ago. So, what do you think of the metaverse Facebook is trying to build and the impact it
Oh,
can have on e-commerce specifically?
yeah. So I don't really care about Zuckerberg's metaverse. I've been calling that out. Like the second it came out to Meta, everyone in my community is like, wow, Joe, you were right again. And it's kind of amazing because I've been Mystic Joe back at it again. I make some crazy predictions and I hit them. I hit them quite frequently, and it's actually surprising me sometimes. And I call the metaverse. I joked around saying, yeah, it's going to be MetaFace. They're just Meta, and then it actually ends up being Meta. I don't think Zuckerberg is going to end up being, it's just too many resources and there's too many platforms already out. So I don't think he's going to be the full dominant factor of there unless he's basically able to integrate with the other chains and like, yeah, I think the NFTs are the most powerful thing that are going to unlock the metaverse. What we see with NFTs today are not going to be what NFTs are years from now. 99% of the projects that are around today, they're just irrelevant. But like, you have CryptoPunks, those are the alphas, those are the OGs. Those are going to be an exclusive club when it comes down to the metaverse, where we're hanging out in the metaverse and you have all these NFTs around. If you have the real, OG NFTs, then people are going to want to be around there. So it's very exciting. I know people are saying it's scary and it's like, oh, it's the beginning of the end. And, we are in the metaverse. Where are you in the world right now?
Singapore.
You're in
I'm based
Singapore.
yep.
I'm in Miami, but guess what? We're in the same room right now. And the metaverse is going to be way better because you and I will both have avatars and we would be able to interact better. And, I'm in Discord with global people all the time from all around the world. And I tell them like, we are already in the metaverse. We're just in a very low quality version. And I think the NFT space where, right now NFT is treated as art, but it will be treated as keys. These keys will unlock things. And I just recently helped an NFT blockchain like analytics platform called Icy Tools with their launch of an NFT where they're the first company in history to ever do this, which I mean I was very proud of it. That they had the alpha users, right, the early adopters, they were able to purchase for a one-time fee their tool. Then they switched to a subscription model, which think about Netflix, think about Disney Plus, all that, right? They switched to the subscription model, and now every person that was not an early supporter, they have to pay monthly. Versus the people that were early supporters. Now, what those people have to do is just claim their NFT, and now they have an NFT. If you hold that NFT, you have lifetime access. So if they're ever done with the tool, they can go and sell it, and someone else can get lifetime access. Or what if you have a company like, I'm just gonna throw one out there. What if a company like Salesforce or one of these, not Salesforce, I'm just trying to think of a very expensive company for subscriptions, and you were an early adopter, you're the first 1,000 people, and you bought and you supported them, and then they blow up and they turn into a subscription model, and their subscription costs $1,000 a month. Well, since you were an early adopter, you can sell your NFT that gives you lifetime access for whatever the $1,000 a month that it goes for times 2 years. And you could probably sell your small investment in this company, and it gives ownership. That's the crazy part, that now even Instagram, Facebook, all these social media platforms somehow convinced everybody to just work for them for free, because everyone's creating content and they're just like giving it away. And they're just like, here, Facebook doesn't make a single piece of content, and it's the biggest content machine in the world. And what the metaverse is going to do is going to end up giving content back to the people, where I can put out content, and now you consuming my content can be rewarded in, let's say, the platform's in-game token, right? And that's the power of what this metaverse is going to be. It's decentralization, it's Web3, and as it pertains to how people can get involved and how people can position themselves. I think marketers, since marketers, I've been involved in the creative aspects, I've been involved in development aspects. Like we are very, flexible in the moves that we do. We're not just so one dimensional. And I think marketers are going to be the ones that have to adapt to end up becoming some type of NFT strategist. And by finding utility within community, or even, being spearheading DAOs and decentralized autonomous organizations, which is basically saying, like, you see, like, I'm the owner of Furlough. I don't have to always be the owner of Furlough. I can stop being the owner and be the founder of Furlough. If I did that today, the community might not exist. But if I did an NFT and released it to the community, now I'm no longer the owner of Furlough. The people that have the NFTs are able to vote and create this as a DAO. So now I'm the father of Furlough, but everyone else becomes the owner of Furlough. And right now, the Furlough is a community, and that, community should not be owned by anybody outside of the people that own the community. So I think Web3 is going to see this huge focus on communities and people. And, everyone's saying Facebook, but I'll say Discord. I think Discord is going to do a metaverse play in the next couple of years. They're going to have to, because they're just so positioned. They're positioned way better than Facebook, in my opinion, to be able to take over the landscape.
It's so exciting, like really exciting. And this is developing faster than internet and all other things.
I would say, the thing is, like, people they see what's going on now, but this has been going on for a while now, and it's coming to mainstream fruition. And in 2016, I was talking about this stuff, and it was like, the market pulls back and crashes, and that's it. Everyone stops talking about it and went silent for like 4 or 5 years, right after the 2016 first Bitcoin pullback, and the altcoins took just a giant hit.
Yep.
And then now everyone's all talking about it, but there's so much institutional money that's kind of supporting it now that I'm just excited to see how the remaining of the year goes up to the end of 2021, how crazy this market goes, because I know people with $100 that made it into 10,000 within a month. Like, and these are people that are going through, that live in places around the world, because since I'm on Discord and it's a global community, I get a pulse of what's going on everywhere. It's actually probably my favorite part. And so many cultural differences. Like, I have Iranis interacting with Israelis, which is like forbidden apparently. I don't know. And like Lebanon went through financial crisis. The financial, just their currency exploded on them. And I know someone's like, $200 is all I need to float everything I have, like everything, my expenses, my gym, my house, my food. Like, I can make you $200, and he's flipped it. He's flipped that 200 to 10,000 first month, and if we do this the next month and make him another 10,000, he'll be able to buy a house. 20 years old.
Wow.
Crazy.
Okay, so you mentioned NFT. How do you see NFT and cryptocurrencies impacting traditional investment instruments like stocks or mutual bonds or pension funds?
I mean, like, when it comes down, I still think, like, the traditional stocks, like, a Roth IRA in the States is by far one of the best investment vehicles. You just need to be very patient, and you have to max out your Roth IRA at 5,500 from 18 all the way to 65. The returns are just it's insane what's going on in the crypto space, because it's so early. And what you look at it as is like, yeah, there's volatility, of course. You look at it like the ocean, right? You can be a small boat in the ocean, and if you got big waves, it's gonna be volatile. It's gonna move back and forth. But if you're a cruise ship like Apple or Amazon, these waves aren't gonna affect you, and there's not gonna be heavy volatility. And with the state of the world, as crazy as it is, between, hyperinflation and the United States it's an issue. Like, the immigration going across all around the world, the diversion, the protests that are happening outside the United States, and France and Australia and Italy. Like, it's just crazy times to be in. And I feel uncertain about the market, because I feel uncertain about the dollar. And it's just, you're telling me I'm going to put something where the people can just print more money and I have no control of, or I can put my money in a bank where, rewind all the way to the Depression, when people tried taking their money out the bank, the bank's like, nope. And it's just crazy to think that like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all these coins are in my wallet on my computer. I know a code. I just need to have internet access to be able to send a message, and it's peer to peer. There's no middleman. If you and I are transacting, why do I need anyone else? I don't. And NFTs, I'm not going to release my trade secrets. I do have something that is going to I hate the word revolutionize, but like it would be the first of its kind. And it's, I focus on true utility. I'm not interested in this, these little memes and 10,000 generative art pieces that are unique and pump and dumps and hey, let's make money. People don't realize if your NFT is claiming to make you money, you're claim like it's a security, but you're saying it's a security. You can't do that. You're breaking laws. Like your an investment cannot guarantee income back because you're crossing a line there. And there's American people that are like Americans in America who are doing this, and it's like you're gonna get in trouble. Like so they're gonna have to bring in the hammer. And it's same with stocks. Like you can't just go around and start selling mutual funds to people. You need to get a license for that, right? And I think the crypto space, since it's so new, it's kind of a gray area. I think it's what 3% of the entire world have crypto. It's just crazy how early it is. I don't know what it's going to do. I think the stock market's still going to be there. I still think Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I think those platforms are going to be around 10 years from now. But just like how you now have a TikTok profile, you're going to have a Metaverse profile, right? Like you'll add on more of these channels. I don't think the stock market's going to go away, right? But I think maybe Apple might drop an NFT, and if you hold their NFT, now you get free cloud storage, right? And there's going to be some things like that. I don't know if they're going to be dropping a coin. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon says, hey, everyone that has Amazon Prime has now been airdropped a 500 Prime coins. And now you can use these Prime coins in our store because they'd be printing money, and they would immediately double their market cap. And from there, people would probably buy more Prime coin. What are they buying? They're buying something that Jeff Bezos basically printed out of thin air. So I definitely think crazy things are happening. I mean, when it comes down to, if the crypto market's going to disrupt the stock market, that's a hard one to say, but slowly but surely the market, they're growing. The crypto market is growing, and it's going to end up being accessible to everybody. So
I'm in sync with you on this. Rightly said. And let's move on to the last question. What impact do you think will be felt on real estate as an investment, especially commercial real estate because of companies rolling out work from anywhere policies?
yeah, I mean, real estate's crazy right now. And just like, I mean, I hate this. Like, I'm not going to tap into the conspiracy theory stuff, but this is not a conspiracy theory. At least on my side, the fact that there's too many people and there's not enough houses, because go drive through Texas, go drive through any of those mid places in the United States. Like, how is it that there is just so much land? And how is it that every single person on this planet can't have a home? And yet I am supposed to pay $3,500 in rent a month? Like, they so crazy to me. If you don't own real estate right now, it's very, very difficult to buy real estate. Like the markets are insane. There needs to be a correction. I would not buy anything right now. I would buy crypto, which I am. My cash, I've moved all my cash basically to crypto. I do have some traditional, investment vehicles, but I'm uncertain. I think the dollar is gonna, it's just how it's going. This is not sustainable. The real estate market is not sustainable. I mean, I have friends living in LA. I have friends living in New York, and it's even worse than they're living in closets. They're living in small, tiny places, paying twice as much as what I'm paying, and I'm just blown away by it. I think there are places that there is, real estate gold mines for sure. But and especially on the commercial real estate, I think there is big money in small apartments. Like if you are having not bought a real estate anything in real estate yet, and you're going into real estate, I wouldn't tell you to buy a single family home. I would tell you to buy a multifamily apartment like complex, because it's just far, you put a property manager in there, And at least if you're in the United States, there's lots of incentives and benefits to actually pulling out loans and, first time buyer homes. You can, and incentives pretty much to help you encourage and encourage people to actually buy real estate. You put a property manager in one of your units to manage 5, 6, 7, 8 of the units versus you have single family homes scattered everywhere. And another thing that people think is that you have to buy houses, real estate in your neighborhood. Like I'm in Miami, so I have to do an investment in Miami. It's like, no, go buy one in Orlando, which is way higher. You have Disney there, things like that. But I don't think I think work from home is cool. It's crazy. Artificial intelligence is slowly becoming here today because people really are starting to care more about their digital lives than their actual real lives. And it's what really artificial intelligence is. It's just it's the intelligence that's artificial. It's really in this main net or the internet that we're all kind of diving deeper into. And it's scary what the metaverse is doing because eventually these NFTs, people are going to spend so much time and money onto improving their digital life, and they're going to forget about being social, hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, and doing things in a real life versus in the digital life. So, but specifically on the real estate stuff right now, it's crazy. It's crazy. And something's going to happen. It's got to lead to something. It feels like everything we're doing is all leading to something. What's that moment? I have no idea, but unfortunately, I hope this real estate market just takes a huge kickback, and just because it's not sustainable. And I know people that are struggling and they can't save money because their money is too busy going into rent.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the interview.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. That was fun.
Yep.
Is that it? That was quick, huh? We flew through that. That was
I
30
promise
minutes.
you it's gonna be 30 minutes. We're done in 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're very punctual. So, I'm curious. Where is this? What's your guys' strategy with this?
So we'll get this edited into. First of all, I'll just send you the full video, the full interview.
Yeah.
And then our strategy is just cutting it into short snippets where you are giving some insight or we're just interacting and posting it on Instagram and TikTok primarily. That's our
Nice.
plan. If you're fine with
Nice.
that.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. What
Awesome.
who's part of your team?
Well, essentially, I just found a few people on LinkedIn who are like 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds, but they're
Yeah.
working with in the team. And then I have two, three of my friends of the same age who are giving a hand in this project. So, and I think we'll be getting on more guests eventually and doing more interviews because it's awesome to interact with people like you, and especially being
Mhm.
15 and
Yeah.
extracting this knowledge is just out of the world. So thank you
Oh
so
yeah,
much.
no, you're definitely in a good position. I mean, you think about it now. You know how to reach me, and you can do that for 1,000 people and know how to reach them. And in 3, 4 years, you'll have 10 to 5,000 people who you have direct insights with. That if you ever need to connect somebody, you're like, oh, I know that guy Joe. Let me reach out to him. And oh, I know that guy John and Peter and Sean, whatever. So I keep going. I'm the first for you.
Yep, you are.
Yeah, go do more and try and bump the frequency, because this was just 30 minutes, and if you can do 30 minutes a day, you're golden. But are your friend are you I know you're in Furlough. Are your friends and all that, are you guys all here in this community?
Nope, not yet. But I'll
Well,
definitely send an invite. I promise I'll send an invite.
no, I mean, yeah, it's just, the resource of what it is. Like, there's plenty of people like me in there. There's also plenty of people you can definitely interview as well. But yeah, man, no, I'm glad to help. Anything you need, if you want to follow up in like a few months or something, I'm down. I'll do this again with you.
I'd love to. I'll let you know, and I'll be around in the community now. Just one thing. The
Talk to me.
problem is I'm based in Singapore, so we have a 12-hour time difference. That day I was in the open collab hall, but I was awake at 5 a.m. It was like the first time I was in the call, so it was a great experience. But I'll have to figure out the timing. But I'll still be around in the community, especially
Hey, man,
in my time zone.
in about 30 minutes, we're in the open collab hall now, and that's where I kind of come in now, and I hit the ground running. I kid you not, I woke up at 6 a.m. to handle. I do consulting for this company overseas. I'm doing their go-to market strategy, and like it was from 6 to to 7:30. The meeting ran a little late, and then I was like, oh, I'm too tired. I got way too much stuff to do. So I took a nap, and then my alarm came on, and like when I jumped on, I literally just woke up, and I was like, oh man. I'm like, we're really jumping right into this. I'm like, I was like trying to like rub my eyes and but like towards the second half, I'm like, I'm feeling this. Let's go. but, but yeah, now I'm full energy and I just go straight in and we all kind of work and collab. So I think 10 p.m. might be it's all right. It's not too late for you. And then you can hear how people like myself and what we're doing each day. And if I was 15 learning that, man, I'd be further along. I'll tell you that.
Well, let's see how my journey plays out in the next 10 years.
That I will be very excited to hear that, and hopefully we cross paths again, and I could support you on your ventures. So, my friend, yeah, awesome job. Keep it up, keep going, and if there's any other things I can do for you, just reach out. All right.
Yep, I will. So let's
Um,
talk soon. Maybe I'll be in the collab hall in about 30 minutes when you guys start. And I'll send you the full video in a few minutes. I'll have to upload it to a cloud and then I'll send the full video link. Thank you
okay,
so
man, no,
much. I hope you have a great day.
you too, brother.
I'll definitely be in touch with you and the community. Have a nice day.
You too, man. Cheers. Take care, brother.